The void of space stretched endlessly, dark and silent, punctuated only by distant stars. In this emptiness, the Siren patrol fleet moved with precision, scanning for any sign of life. Their sensors flickered constantly, analyzing planets, ships, and asteroids for anything out of the ordinary. Commander Vrith of the Siren fleet prided himself on his vigilance, yet something today felt off. "Commander," reported a junior officer. A thin-limbed Siren, with scales that shimmered like black glass. "Sensors are detecting a large vessel entering the sector. Size and energy readings are unusual." Vrith's multiple eyes narrowed. "Unusual? Explain." "It is larger than any known human vessel, sir. Its shields, they are adapting. They are not just absorbing energy, they are predicting it." Vrith paused. His instincts screamed danger. "Predicting?" he asked. "Yes, Commander. It's as if it knows our attacks before we make them." Vrith's antennae twitched in irritation. "Impossible. Humans do not have such technology. Report its trajectory." The officer's fingers moved swiftly over the console. "Heading toward the mining colony on Keshvar 4. Estimated arrival in 30 minutes. Vrith froze. Keshvar 4 was a critical outpost. Hundreds of Siren miners worked there daily, extracting rare ores essential for their fleets. If this ship was hostile, it could wipe them out in minutes. "Alert the fleet," Vrith barked. "Prepare for engagement." Far away, in the quiet hum of a human shipyard, Captain Alara Quinn walked along the deck of the Indomitable. The warship was unlike anything the galaxy had seen. Its sleek hull stretched over a kilometer, black as midnight but faintly reflective under the distant stars. Its design was strange yet elegant, a mix of engineering genius and human intuition. "You're staring again," said Lieutenant Rin, her communications officer. She tapped a console lightly. "You've been staring at the sensors for 10 minutes. Don't tell me you've lost your nerves already." Alara smirked. "Not nerves, Rin. Curiosity. I want to see how they react. The galaxy has forgotten what humans are capable of." Rin shook her head. "They'll remember soon enough, I suppose." Alara's hand rested on the edge of the command chair. "Not remember, they'll fear. And that fear will make them think twice before attacking anyone again." Below deck, the AI of the Indomitable hummed softly. It was a marvel of human ingenuity. A system built not just to calculate, but to learn, adapt, and anticipate. Yet it wasn't fully machine-driven. Alara and her officers had integrated human decision-making into its core. When humans thought, the AI thought faster, predicting outcomes before enemies even realized what was happening. Back in Siren space, alarms blared across the mining colony. Mining droids ceased operations as sensors detected the approaching warship. The sky, usually dominated by faint blue stars, shimmered as the Indomitable's silhouette emerged from the dark. Its hull seemed to absorb light, yet reflected the colony's atmosphere in strange, distorted waves. "Identify," Vrith demanded. "Who commands that vessel?" "Unknown, Commander. Not in any registry. Origin, human, yes, but of a class we have never seen." Vrith's claws tightened around his console. "Prepare defenses. Warn the miners." The humans did not slow. The Indomitable moved with silent grace, threading through asteroid belts as if they weren't there, shields shifting, bending around hazards that would destroy any ordinary ship. Sensors on the colony scrambled, unable to read the ship accurately. On the bridge of the Indomitable, Alara watched the Siren drones awaken, ready to defend the colony. She tapped her comm panel. "Open a channel." Static crackled. Then a Siren voice hissed, harsh and sharp. "Human ship. Identify yourself." "You are in restricted space," Alara smiled. "I am Captain Alara Quinn of the United Earth Defense Fleet. We are not here to attack, but if you engage, we will defend ourselves and those under threat." A pause. Then another voice, more cautious, replied, You should not exist. How did humanity build a ship of this magnitude? Ilara leaned back. You're about to find out. But I hope it won't come to a fight. Lives can be spared if you cooperate. Vreeth's claws hovered over his control panel. Prepare weapons, he ordered quietly. But hold fire until they strike. Minutes passed. The Indomitable was now within visual range. Drones took flight, forming a defensive ring around the colony. The Zirans had superior numbers, but Ilara's crew knew the warship's true power. They had trained for this moment. Shields up to maximum, Ilara ordered. Weapon systems on standby. Remember, we do not strike first. And over, the Ziran drones fired. Energy beams cut through space, toward the human vessel. To the aliens' shock, their attacks bent around the warship, harmlessly dissipating in space. It was not magic. It was engineering predictive shields adapting to each attack in real time. Shields holding, Rin reported. They're avoiding our weapons. Adjust targeting, Ilara said calmly. Let them learn. Another wave of drones attacked. This time from above. The warship responded in an instant. Tiny pulses of energy emitted from its hull, disabling engines of several drones without destroying them. Others were gently shoved aside by the energy pulses. No lives were taken, yet the threat was neutralized. Vreeth's multiple eyes widened in disbelief. What kind of weapon is this? Ilara's voice carried over the calm and firm. It's not a weapon, Commander. It's a warning. Leave these people in peace, and no harm will come to your forces. Continue aggression, and you will see the limits of human defense. Inside the Ziran fleet, murmurs spread among officers. Humans were not supposed to have this level of technology. Their warships were known. Yes, but never like this. Predictive shields, non-lethal disabling fields, a vessel that moves as if it anticipates enemy action. The colony miners watched, terrified and awestruck. The humans did not fire to kill. Yet the aliens were rendered powerless. Their pride shattered by a species they had considered inferior. Vreeth finally barked orders. Retreat. Fall back to safe orbit. The Ziran drone scrambled, withdrawing under the watchful gaze of the Indomitable. The warship remained stationary, a sentinel above the colony. Its presence was a silent message. Humans were not to be underestimated. Later, in a small briefing room aboard the Indomitable, Ilara and her officers discussed the engagement. Did you see that? Rin asked, still shaking with adrenaline. Not a single casualty. They were terrified. Think you subscribed 2505er? They were terrified. They were terrified, Ilara nodded. Yes, that's exactly what we want. Fear, but not hatred. Respect, but not rage. The galaxy has been forgetting humans for too long. We're reminding them of who we are. Lieutenant Kale, the ship's strategist, frowned. Do you think they'll come back? With more ships? Ilara's eyes hardened. Maybe. And if they do, we'll be ready. The Indomitable was not built to destroy recklessly. It was built to survive, adapt, and protect. That's what humans do. We find a way. We endure. And when necessary, we terrify. Outside, the stars seemed to shimmer with the faint glow of the warship's shields. The Indomitable floated silently above the colony, an impossible machine that should not exist, and yet, there it was. Humanity had once again proven that it could reach beyond expectations. Somewhere, deep in the Ziran fleet, a commander muttered, almost to himself, "This cannot be real. No human ship should have this power." And across the galaxy, the whispers began. Stories of a terrifying human warship that did not kill recklessly, yet could annihilate fleets, spread like wildfire. Humanity had entered a new chapter of its history, one in which fear, respect, and awe followed its name across the stars. For now, the humans were calm, their purpose clear. They were not conquerors, not destroyers. They were guardians. And the galaxy would soon learn that wherever humans went, no threat could stand unchallenged. The Indomitable glided silently through the void, its hull shimmering faintly under distant starlight. Captain Alara Quinn stood on the bridge, arms crossed, watching the galaxy scroll past. Around her, the crew worked efficiently, each person in their place, each system humming with precision. "Report," Alara said, her voice calm but commanding. Lieutenant Rin looked up from the tactical console. "Sensors detect multiple Ziran fleets converging on the HFY system, Captain. They've learned we were here. And they're not taking it lightly." Alara nodded. "Expected. Any casualties in the colony?" "None, Captain. All miners accounted for," Rin replied. Alara allowed herself a small smile. "Good. That's the human way. We fight smart, not reckless. We protect life, whenever possible." Below deck, the warship's AI, a hybrid of machine precision and human strategic insight, ran simulations at incredible speed. Every possible outcome, every enemy maneuver, was analyzed and reanalyzed. The humans had engineered it this way, part calculation, part intuition. The galaxy had never seen anything like it. Meanwhile, across the HFY system, Ziran fleets assembled. Ships of all sizes, bristling with weapons, formed a massive formation. Commander Vrith hovered over a holographic table, his claws tapping impatiently. "They should have been gone by now," Vrith growled. "Humans do not have a ship like this. Where did it come from? And why haven't they attacked?" Reth, his second-in-command, a sleek-scaled officer named Therix, hesitated. "Sir, they may not need to attack. Their shields, their capabilities, they can neutralize us without firing a shot. Our scouts confirm that the vessel's movements are adaptive, predictive. It is unlike anything we have encountered." Vrith's eyes narrowed. "Adaptive? Explain," Therix swallowed. "It anticipates threats before they occur. Our weapons are rendered useless before they even reach it. It's terrifying." Back on the Indomitable, Captain Quinn gave her orders. "We will not fire unless fired upon. Our mission is to disable the Ziran command hub without unnecessary casualties. Keep the miners safe. Move fast and precise. That's how humans fight." Lieutenant Kale, the ship's tactical officer, leaned forward. "Captain, we can use the asteroid field near the command hub for cover. If we time it right, the Zirans won't see us coming until it's too late." Ilara's eyes gleamed. "Perfect. Make the calculations. Rin, prepare the communication channels. We want them to see our approach, but not underestimate us." The Indomitable slipped into the asteroid field. To the naked eye, it was invisible among the tumbling rocks, but its sensors and shields allowed it to move with ease. The Ziran scouts patrolled nearby, unaware of the human ship weaving silently around them. Suddenly, a warning blared. "Incoming drones. Large formation. Armed." Rin's fingers danced across the controls. "They've spotted us, Captain. Preparing countermeasures." Alara nodded. "Let's remind them what humans can do." Energy pulses shot from the warship's hull. The drones stopped in their tracks, their engines disabled, without a single shot being fired. Others were gently nudged aside, drifting harmlessly into space. The Zirans were stunned. Their advanced technology, built to overwhelm opponents with firepower, had no effect. Commander Vrith clenched his claws. "Impossible! They are neutralizing us without destruction." Ilara's calm voice echoed over the comm. "Commander Vrith, this is your chance to avoid conflict. Stand down, and no one gets hurt." Vrith hesitated, pride warring with caution. We cannot. Retreat is not an option for the Ziran fleet. Then we will show you what humans are capable of," Alara replied. The Indomitable accelerated. Its movement was fluid, almost alive, dodging attacks before they even occurred. Ziran ships fired with all their might, but beams bent and twisted, harmlessly missing the target. Drones collided with each other as the human warship manipulated gravitational fields with subtle pulses of energy. "Captain, they're trying to flank us," Kale shouted. "Let them," Ilara said, her eyes scanning the holographic map. "They think quantity over quality will win. Humans know better." Rin. "Prepare the disabling field." A wave of soft blue energy erupted from the Indomitable, enveloping several enemy vessels. Engines died, weapons went offline, and communications were jammed. Not a single Xiran life was lost, yet the fleet was paralyzed. Vrith's multiple eyes widened in disbelief. What kind of weapon is this?" Ilara's voice was calm, but firm. "It's not a weapon. It's a message. Humanity does not seek needless destruction. But if threatened, we defend ourselves, and those who cannot defend themselves." Rin tapped the console rapidly. "Captain, the command hub is within range. We can disable it without harming the surrounding systems." Ilara nodded. "Do it. Let's end this with precision." A series of energy pulses targeted the hub's core systems. Lights flickered across the Xiran control center. Shields collapsed. Weapons powered down. Alarms blared. But no one was harmed. The hub was neutralized, leaving the Xirans without control of their fleet. "Fall back. Retreat," Vrith ordered. His pride was shattered. His fleet, once confident, was now incapacitated by a single human warship. Ilara's comm activated. "Commander Vrith, we could have destroyed your fleet. We chose not to. Learn this lesson well. Humans fight to protect, not to conquer. Remember that." The Indomitable turned, heading back toward Keshvar 4. Its mission complete, its crew calm but alert, ready for anything else the galaxy might throw at them. On the bridge, Kale exhaled. "Captain, they actually fear us now." Ilara allowed herself a small smile. "Good. Respect and fear are not the same, Kale. They may fear our power, but they will also respect it if we continue to act as we have calm, precise, and human." Rin shook her head. "I still can't believe it. We neutralized an entire command hub and their fleet without firing to kill. Humans, we are something else." Ilara's gaze turned toward the stars. "We are human. That is enough." In the distant Xiran fleet, reports came in from scattered ships. "They do not attack recklessly," one officer said. "They move as if they think ahead, as if they can see our strategy before we make it." Commander Vrith stared at the blank space on his holographic table where the hub once stood. "We have underestimated humans," he admitted quietly. "We have no idea what else they are capable of." Far away, the Indomitable hovered above Keshvar 4, silent and imposing. Miners watched in awe as the impossible human warship glided through space. It did not celebrate its victory. It did not gloat. It had a purpose: to protect, to defend, and to remind the galaxy of what humans could accomplish when united. Ilara addressed her crew. "Today, we have done what humans have always done. We faced impossible odds, and we found a way. Remember this. Wherever we go, the galaxy must know that humans will not be overlooked. We fight smart, we fight fair, and we fight for life. That is what makes us terrifying." Rin leaned back in her chair, exhausted but exhilarated. "Terrifying, indeed. But inspiring too." Ilara nodded. "Yes, that is the dual nature of humanity. We are unpredictable, adaptable, and clever. We can inspire hope or fear, and sometimes both at the same time." As the Indomitable prepared to leave the sector, a faint signal reached the ship. It was from a distant observer, an unknown alien species. They had been watching the humans closely, noting their tactics, their restraint, their sheer brilliance. Ilara read the signal aloud. Observation noted: "Humans are terrifying, and not like anything we have seen." The crew exchanged looks. They understood this was just the beginning. The galaxy would never be the same again. Humans had arrived not to conquer, not to destroy, but to remind every civilization that underestimating humanity was the gravest mistake anyone could make. And somewhere, deep in the void of space, rumors began to spread. A human warship, impossible by all known standards, had shown the universe that humans were not merely survivors. They were guardians, strategists, and if provoked, a terrifying force that could not be stopped. The Indomitable moved on, silently, leaving behind awestruck allies and terrified enemies alike. It was a warning, a promise, and a symbol. Humans were rising, and the galaxy would take notice. The void of space stretched endlessly. But the Indomitable moved with purpose, cutting through starlight as if it had a will of its own. Captain Alara Quinn stood on the bridge, calm yet alert, watching the Xeran fleet regroup in the distance. The aliens had survived, but they had been humbled. The humans had proven that raw power was nothing without strategy, ingenuity, and the discipline to protect life. Lieutenant Kale broke the silence. "Captain, they're forming a defensive perimeter. I think they're debating whether to engage again or retreat entirely." Ilara's eyes narrowed slightly. "Let them debate. We're not here to conquer. We're here to set an example. Humanity doesn't fight for dominance. We fight for survival. And for those who cannot defend themselves." Rin tapped the console. "Captain, we've received multiple transmissions from other nearby systems. Various species are reporting sightings of our actions at Keshvar. They're astonished. Some are calling us saviors. Others are calling us terrifying." Ilara allowed herself a small smile. "Both descriptions are accurate. That is what it means to be human. Adaptable, unpredictable, and clever enough to survive in any situation. Humans are not to be underestimated, but neither are we cruel or reckless." As the Indomitable approached the Keshvar system's jump point, a small fleet of alien ships emerged from hyperspace. These were not Sirens. They were observers, scouts from a coalition of neighboring civilizations, drawn by reports of the human warship. Their ships were armed, but not aggressively. Caution and curiosity guided them. "Open a channel," Ilara commanded. The view screen flickered, revealing a stern, green-scaled alien commander. His eyes widened at the sight of the human warship. You are the humans of legend?" Ilara nodded. We are the United Earth Defense Fleet. You have heard of our ship's capabilities?" Our ship's capabilities? "Yes," the alien replied cautiously. "We observed your neutralization of the Xeran fleet. We did not think such power possible in one vessel. Your restraint is astonishing." Ilara's smile was gentle but firm. "Power without control is dangerous. Humanity respects life and order. We will not destroy unnecessarily. We will protect when we must, and fight when forced. That is the human way." The alien commander leaned forward, studying her closely. "Your species is unlike anything we have encountered. We have seen empires rise and fall. But humans are different. Your methods, your adaptability. It is almost as if you anticipate the future." Ilara nodded. "We learn quickly. We adapt. We think creatively. That is why humans survive. We do not rely solely on technology. We rely on our minds, our intuition, and our courage," Kale interjected. "And, if necessary, our ships are designed to defend life, not take it recklessly. The Indomitable is an example of that philosophy." The alien commander considered this silently for a moment. Then he nodded. "Your actions have given us hope and fear. We will report to our council. Perhaps humanity can be an ally rather than a threat." Ilara nodded. "We seek cooperation, not domination. But we will not be ignored or underestimated." With that, the channel closed. The Indomitable continued its patrol, leaving the alien scouts behind, who would now carry tales of human ingenuity and restraint throughout the galaxy. Later, in the human ship's briefing room, the crew gathered to discuss the next steps. The air was filled with quiet excitement. Their mission had succeeded beyond expectations. "Captain," Rin said, "the Xiran fleet. They've withdrawn completely. Reports indicate confusion, fear, and respect. They're reassessing humans as a galactic power." Elara nodded. "Good. That is exactly the message we wanted to send. Humans are not conquerors. We are protectors. But the galaxy must understand when we fight effectively, and when necessary, terrifyingly." Kale smiled. "I think the word terrifying is an understatement. The story's spreading now. Humans will become legends across multiple species." "Reet," Elara turned her gaze toward the stars. "Legends are meaningless without action. What matters is that life is protected, that intelligence is respected, that fear does not lead to hate. Humans are capable of inspiring both awe and cooperation, and that is our strength." Meanwhile, across the galaxy, news of the human warship spread rapidly. Entire civilizations debated the meaning of humanity's rise. Some feared humans as a potential threat. Others saw them as a force of balance, one that could intervene where others would fail. In one council chamber on a distant planet, alien leaders argued over how to respond to humanity. "They do not kill recklessly," one said. "But their capabilities. They can neutralize entire fleets without casualties." "This is unprecedented," another replied. "We must study them. Understand them. Perhaps an alliance is wiser than war. Their morality, combined with power, it is unmatched." Back aboard the Indomitable, Elara observed the galaxy's response through the ship's sensors. Her crew watched as new communications began to arrive from friendly and neutral species alike, requests for cooperation, for protection, for joint exploration. The humans had proven themselves not just powerful, but trustworthy. "Captain," Kale said, "the galaxy is noticing. We're being seen as leaders, protectors, and yes, terrifying, if provoked. What do we do next?" Elara smiled softly. "We continue to be human. We continue to act with intelligence, courage, and restraint. We protect when needed, we fight when forced, and we show the galaxy that humanity's strength lies not just in our technology, but in our minds, our creativity, and our hearts." Rin leaned forward. "Do you think they'll ever fully understand humans?" Elara considered the question carefully. "No species will ever fully understand another. But that is not necessary. What matters is respect. Understanding is optional. Respect is essential. And if we continue as we have, respect will follow." The Indomitable moved on, its engines leaving faint streaks of light across the dark void. It was a symbol, a sentinel, a guardian. Humans had risen, not through conquest, but through courage, intelligence, and moral conviction. The galaxy had taken notice, and it would not forget. In the days that followed, humans worked with allied species, sharing technology, knowledge, and strategies, not to dominate, but to teach, to protect, and to demonstrate that strength could coexist with morality. The Indomitable became the centerpiece of these efforts, a living example of what humanity could achieve when ingenuity and ethics combined. Even the Xirans, once fearful and prideful, began to acknowledge the truth. Humans were not merely another species to be controlled or ignored. They were a force of balance, capable of changing the course of entire conflicts, of saving lives on unimaginable scales, and of reminding the galaxy that courage and intelligence were as formidable as weapons. Elara stood once more on the bridge, staring into the infinite black of space. "This is only the beginning," she said softly. "Humans have survived countless challenges, and we will continue to do so. We will protect, we will endure, and we will inspire. And when necessary, we will terrify. But only to remind others that life is precious, strategy is essential, And humanity will never be underestimated. The crew of the Indomitable exchanged glances, pride swelling quietly in each heart. They had achieved what few could. They had shown the galaxy the best of humanity. Bravery, cleverness, and the unyielding desire to protect life, even in the face of unimaginable power. And somewhere, across distant star systems, whispers began to spread. Tales of the human warship that should not exist, but did terrifying, precise, and just became legend. Stories of humans who fought not for glory, but for life. Stories that reminded the galaxy that underestimating humans was the greatest mistake any civilization could make. Elara watched the stars fade past the viewport. "Let them talk," she said. "We do not fight for stories. We fight because it is right. The universe will remember us, not just for what we destroy, but for what we protect. That is what makes humans extraordinary." The Indomitable continued its journey, silent, imposing, and impossible. Humanity had announced itself to the stars not as conquerors, but as guardians, and the galaxy would never forget the day they witnessed the humans. The ship that shouldn't exist, and the truth of what it meant to be human.